in the morning, heart of South Philly. Let's go see what the people have got to say. I'm ready to roll if they need me.
Now listen here, Dutch. The Mets and the Cowboys, they suck.
1, 2, 3, go Birds! Go Birds! Here we go, 302BIRDS, Gino Stinks. Go Birds!
Get your water ice and soft pretzels ready because you are now tuned into a 302BIRDS podcast experience. Proudly presented by TickPick, Nick's Pizza, El Diablo Burritos, and Klondike Kate's on the heart of Main Street. Let's take it to the show.
Good evening to all of our awesome Philly sports fans out there. I'm gonna fix this colorway because I don't know what's going on with that. I have it. There we go. That's better. That's the midnight green we know. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 302BIRDS. Wednesday, April 2nd. We are 2 weeks out from our celebrity guest bartender event at Klondike Kate's. If you aren't doing anything that night from 6 to 10 p.m., come hang out, get a drink, benefit Eagles autism. It is a win-win. But we, as always, have a jam-packed episode for you guys. Kicking off the show, we got Captain Raf backstage right now, warming up on deck. We're going to be talking about the Phillies-Dodgers series upcoming after this Rockies series to kick off the MLB debut. We're going to be giving some Phillies updates. We're going to be talking about the Torpedo bats. We're going to be talking about torts being gone. We're going to talk about the NFL draft being a month out, the Tush Push Banned, and much, much more. So go get your water ice, get your popcorn. You heard Benny in the intro. But Josh, the dynamic duo of cream hats on the resume tonight. You want me to go get my cream hat? Can you guys hear me okay?
There we go. Sorry.
There we go. Now it kicked in.
Yeah. We were looking in the mirror, our sexy hats too much.
Yeah, cream hats and muted mics, I guess.
Oh, buddy, long time no hear. Dalton, what's going on, bud?
It is really refreshing to hear your guys' voice too. But you know whose voice, and it's nothing against you guys. I mean, you guys are both beautiful people. But the most beautiful person in the world, I mean, I haven't really seen him in a long, I'm starting to kind of long for him. Let's talk some baseball. Time for Phillies talk with Ballpark Tommy. Finger stitch. So, Captain Raf, I want to start by apologizing because you're not really getting the full appetizer tonight of 302BIRDS. A 302BIRDS show is not complete without Ballpark Tommy, our guy, ranting about the Philadelphia Phillies. But, Captain Raf, welcome
Hello,
to the
everybody.
How
Hello,
you doing?
everybody. Thank you very much. I'm so excited to be here at 302BIRDS because I got to tell you, this is like one of my favorite shows to watch, even though that I'm a Raider fan, I'm a Dodger fan, but here we are to talking about the Dodgers versus Phillies. I know it's going to be really excited. Yep.
Well,
really
if you're a
about
Dodger fan and a Raider fan, you're like us, man. You keep it real with your team on the good days and on the bad days, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I just wanted to tell a little about this one because there's nothing about like the 7-0 because I understand that it's going to be so much realistic because the bats and of course the situations coming up there because I know that it's really close for like a 3-game series at about for this weekend. But I'm going to tell for this one. This one is going to blow up those minds because I understand that, well, the Dodgers are maybe like the crazy thing because throughout the 7th games, they had Shuney, Freddie, Mookie all together. And it's still not going to the final four because imagine after Shuney coming back as a pitcher and Rocket adjustment complete because someone has been clutching almost every night because the bullpen is already there putting in this work. Because I really think that between for the fifth inning against all for those teams, they're really inspiring to those guys that play every game with a greater mentality, and their collective confidence is really, really huge. Because I know that they keep their momentum at the state of the top. But between for like the Phillies, I mean, they have something like they have no issues at all because they have a lot of confidence in it because they certainly are not the worst that have been through the playoffs last year. Because I believe between the ceiling is pretty higher because I don't see like it losing Hoffman and Esteves making it the bullpen beater because I'm not particularly worried about it. But there's like a reasonable chance that Eugenio Suarez comes out of the bullpen for the majority of the season will be like a huge boom. But if they're going to accumulate like 3 years, however it is longer the core team, they give it like a solid 7, just like the bullpen. But I really hope that always bounce very quickly because this is like the first time that the reigning World Series champ has won 7 straight to start the season in 92 years. I mean, that's a lot of history. But then it just went to the 10th seed to 0 at the season, which is like 1955. Which is only 70 years ago. A season that just won the World Series. And the last time we just went, but also it just like a really good omen. But it just came with like a feeling like Devin Booker in the look at Booker meme. But also I'm really happy that I just get really excited. But they have a lot of the confidence between for the bullpen. It's just like trying to look at the raid offensive line without a center. But they really like to protect it, but they're praying that all going to really stay healthy. A lot of this one because I know this really, really excited, but they're not going to miss it about this because I know it's going to be like a really huge. And believe me or not, if the Phillies get the bolster or pen, which is like the bullpen, I mean, they're really talking about it. But they have to be careful between Freddie Feldman, also Shioni Otani, because those guys are really dangerous. Those guys are really dangerous at the bat and, of course, at the pitch because their bullpen in Los Angeles Dodgers are really insane, and you cannot beat them. You cannot.
Well, Raf, I got one question for you too. Who do you think is your guy that the Phillies should keep an eye the most on, and who do you think is your guy that the Dodgers should keep an eye the most on? Flip sides.
Oh, that's gonna be like a really quick question, but you know I'm gonna keep it like Eugenio Suarez because he has more confidence. And between for the Dodgers, I mean, the most incredible that no one seen that coming without the confidence is Freddie Freeman. I mean, they're gonna be like something that really hoping because between for like the defensive with the offensive, because for the bad situation, I mean, let's get into it. I mean, I'm very curious because as anyone kind of sold out because they always get on the swinging like a torpedo, but I know it's gonna be out.
Yeah.
They're a wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're muted. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Somebody's
are a wagon. They just seem like.
Know if it was you guys.
No, they just seem like they can't lose. But you know, sometimes that happens. Sometimes a team wins the championship, the next year they come back even better, and then they lose in like epic fashion in the playoffs with the Super Bowl, like the Chiefs this year, or like the 2007 Patriots. Or I think the best example of that's like the 2016 Warriors that won in 2015. Then they came back and lost to LeBron, and we're up 3-1. So maybe the Dodgers are just looking for like a heartbreak fashion loss in the playoffs.
Maybe.
I mean, anything happens in like playoff baseball. You just have to make the playoffs, and then it's anybody's game. So
that's my whole mentality with the Phillies this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, us not making moves in the offseason really could be a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, this Phillies team, granted, we've had, you know, very easy schedules so far. I think they are back for redemption. I think with the Eagles winning Super Bowl last year or a couple months ago, I think it's going to fuel a fire, and we're going to see a way different Philadelphia team. We're going to see a different Bryce Harper. We're going to see, obviously, Jose Alvarado, losing all the weight. We're going to see a different pitcher in that sense. So I think this is going to be probably one of the most challenging games this season. But I think the Phillies can pull it out, and I think they can win 2 out of the 3 games, or if it's a 4 series, 3 out of the 4 game series.
The NL goes through us.
Exactly.
Go Phils. Red October, baby.
Yeah, you say that, and then we choke every time when we actually have to deliver. But
it'll be football season by then. It's fine.
Yeah, I understand.
like a true
it's
Philly
very-
fan. What's your prediction for the series, Captain Raf? I mean, how many?
Wow. About for the prediction for the series. I mean, between for the intensity between Bryce Harper and of course Shioni Otani and Freddie Freeman. So I will say this between for the series. It's gonna be really close, but I will give Dodgers 2, Phillies 1. So it's gonna be really close enough. Really close because the intensity and the power of Bryce Harper, Shioni Otani, I mean, that should be really interesting series. But the pitching style, I mean, they're gonna be blow up those minds. So I will give the prediction. Dodgers 2, Phillies 1 between for that series. I mean, that's gonna be a close call. A close call.
It's going to be a good series. Stay tuned. And I'll have to actually send you a video, Captain Raf. You'll get a kick out of it. I want to say this on your way out. I had to tell you this story real quick. KJ and I got to go to your guys' ballpark this year in LA for the first time, and it was beautiful. Awesome experience, awesome people. One lady actually said to KJ and I, she goes, "You guys are really nice for Philly fans. Are they usually like this?" And I'm like, "No, they're not." No, I'm kidding. I'm like, "Hey, we're trying to change the standard and just be good guys, but sports fans." Anyway, long story short, that was the night that Freddie Freeman got a standing ovation for his son. And even Philly fans took off their hat that night and raised it for him. Well, ironically enough, the clip is on SportsCenter that night. And KJ and I, it was like a right place, right time thing. And you can see us faintly in the background. I'll have to send it to you, but you'll get a kick out of it because you always know now when you look at that clip that it's 2 of your favorite Philly fans saluting one of your favorite players and Freddie Freeman, because that guy knows how to play baseball, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
Well,
mean,
hey,
that's brilliant.
can you please let the people know? We have a bunch of followers that I think would appreciate your content too. Would love to give you a follow. Could you please let them know where they could give you a follow?
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have my social media right there present because my name is Rafael Chasinas No es el Capitán Rafucho. So you can follow me on @Sasno Twitter @Capitán Rafucho. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. My YouTube channel is right now 1K subscribers. So my YouTube channel is Capitán Rafucho. So I was talking about NFL, NBA, also a little bit of baseball, combat sports, and everything. So I just wanted to tell you, thank you guys. And I know that, well, I just wanted to tell it a short story because right now it is April 2, which is my brother Alec is celebrating his birthday, almost 30. And I just wanted to tell you, it is the World Autism Awareness Day. And I'm very proud because it's not a shame that I'm one of those Asperger's syndromes who became a content creator. And of course, I'm one of the fewest persons to call some NFL and NBA games in Spanish. So that's a blessing. So I just wanted to tell you, happy birthday, my brother Alec. I know you're still here. I know you're watching because I know you're at work. So happy birthday to you. Love you, brother. And of course, I just wanted to tell you, shout out to the 302 Birds because those guys are the real deal of the content creator and the podcast. I just wanted to tell you. And even though that I'm a Raider fan, I just picked the Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl, and they got it. They got it.
I love it.
Thank
Well,
you.
hopefully we make you proud again this year, Captain Raf. Thank you so much for your love, for your compliments, and happy birthday to your brother, too.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Thank you very much.
We'll get you back on here again soon. Raiders or Dodgers? I got you in my head now. We need a guy.
Okay.
And you're our LA guy now, so stay tuned.
Yes, I understand. Yes. Thank you very much. Much love and respect to you.
You too, man.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank
If you guys don't, give Captain Raf a follow. He said we're the real deal for Philly sports. He's the real deal for LA sports. Love that dude. Especially if you speak Spanish, you're going to get the most authentic experience from him. So please Give him a follow either way. Have a ton of respect and love for him and what he does. Thank you for coming on here, Raf. But a little bit of a Phillies update. So last I checked, I believe that they were up 2-0. Yeah, they're still up 2-0, top of the 7th. 2-1?
Yeah.
How you feeling about this Rockies series, Jack? You think the Phillies are going to come out rolling, or?
I mean, dude, this Rockies team is not a good team. So if we don't come up top on this series, then we got some major issues. I know people say I mean, the early games count down the road because you got to start out, on fire, and then it sets you up in a better place down the road. So yeah, we need to win the series, because if we can't, that's an issue against these Rockies. Because like I said, the Rockies are not a good team this year, and they haven't been a good team in the past year. So if we don't win the series, this is definitely a big issue for us.
Yeah, just gotta win. Everything counts. I know I was making a joke. Baseball doesn't start till like after the All-Star break, which is kind of true, but you still have to win. I mean, they all add up. It doesn't help if there's a million games, but you got to win, and you definitely got to be bad teams.
Yeah, I mean,
you got to belt to ass bad teams.
Exactly. And I mean, I think, like I said earlier, I think this is kind of the Phillies' year because they're not as bad as Sixers that they've been for us, but we expect a lot coming out of these Phillies this year because we haven't really done much. We made it to the World Series past couple years, or 2 years ago. And we have 2 guys that are getting paid $300 million. So we got to utilize that. And we have all the pieces for a good team. It's just a matter of kind of coming together and seeing what we can do as one. And I think moving the lineup around for the batting order, I think that's kind of a smart idea because even though Schwarber is a great leadoff hitter, I think you're going to need his bat when time gets tough, call it, bottom 7th inning. He's the 3rd bat. We have 2 guys on base. So I think with trying to move the lineup around, I think we'll see a way different team than we have in the past.
I can't wait to see, and I think you guys pretty much hit the nail on the head as far as update goes for the Phils. I can't wait to see the Torpedo bats. That's going to be interesting. Kyle Schwarber, get ready to learn Torpedo bat, buddy. Like Crossing Broad literally posted that about Bryce Harper. I'm thinking that with Kyle, man. That's like, those bats are beautiful. You saw, I DM'd it to the group today. If I'm going to edit this as a clip, I'll put it up now. But this is a clip of the Easton bat. And if not, go look it up. Easton Torpedo bat. Easton had a bat like in 2001. And this bat basically was a barrel bat, like a wiffle ball bat almost. The ones that you see the videos online of the kid hit the ball and the ball hits the dad in the balls. And then it ends up on America's Funniest Home Videos and the families in a competition to get out of credit card debt for $50,000. Sorry, just told you personal life. No, I'm kidding. That would be awesome, though. Anyway, point is, it's a big deal, these Torpedo bats. And if they last in the MLB, it's going to change the game. I think that they should stay around. I'm for it. Because I feel like the bat should have, it should be like a cylinder, right? Like if the bat fits within a cylinder, I don't care if you want to put the thick part of the bat at the bottom and the skinny part of the bat at the top. As long as it fits in the cylinder, top or bottom, who the hell cares? It's baseball. You're supposed to just hit the ball with a bat or a bat-like object. So in my opinion, if these get banned, it's really going to kill the sport of baseball. KJ and I were talking about it the other day, and I'll leave it at this. KJ said that the NBA and basketball is a dying sport. I think that and this is my opinion, obviously you guys know I freaking love football, but I think that the MLB is a dying sport. I think that the MLB should be doing everything that they can right now to get younger people watching. Pitching clock was a step in the right direction. This Torpedo bat could be a very good step. It's almost like giving the players steroids again in the 90s.
I mean, I think the Torpedo bat, it's nothing new. It's been around since, 3 or 4 years ago. It's not a big difference. I mean, it looks different. It looks like a crazy little thing. But, I mean, you're just dispersing the density of the bat in some other place. That's why it looks so weird. And it's just a matter of, okay, you're getting more hits because there's more density at that one spot in your bat. Because if you think about it, the traditional bat is just a very cylindrical barrel that doesn't really have much of a surface. And so now with having a bigger surface, I think with Torpedo bat, you'll see the balls get hit more. So I mean, I like it for the sport. I think it's not really giving an advantage to any other team that uses it. I think, with the Yankees leading off the opening day or whatever it was with 3 home runs, the first 3 at bats, only 2 of those players had these bats. So I think it's something that makes the sport more fun and exciting. So I think it's like banning the tush push. I mean, granted they tabled it for later, but like it's something that it gives more of something for the fans to watch than, fouling out or striking out, because that's boring for me.
I don't know. I don't know why like baseball hardos like hate fun. Like every baseball hardo wants like the score to be like 2-1. I don't know. I watch baseball for the dingers. I watch baseball to see Schwarber go yard. I don't care what like baseball bats you're using as long as every team can use the same bat, and they can. Baseball people kind of just suck. Like, to be honest, like they didn't like the pitch count. They didn't like the torpedo bats.
Sorry, Tom.
The steroid era was awesome. We just had guys hitting dingers left and right. They should have let those be legal. I don't know. Baseball just seems like baseball is the only sport where people just don't like fun, like the baseball hardos. So I'm a casual like Phillies fan. Give me the torpedo. Damn the torpedoes. Give them to me. Bring me the torpedoes.
Yeah, I think we need one on this podcast for research purposes. I'm just saying. Let's get the GM's opinion. What do you think, Ash? You think we could get one mailed out here or something?
I mean, I'm open to it. I honestly am pretty neutral on this one so far. Again, I have not watched as many Phillies. I've watched bits and pieces of almost every game, but it's hard to sit and watch a whole game of baseball. The pitch clock, that changed the game for me. It was finally like I could actually feel like I could sit and watch a whole game. So I'm hopeful that this is a step in the right direction, but only time will tell. I'm really neutral, and I could care less, honestly, on the final decision on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to be all for it. I will always be all for this. I want these bats. This is the most best thing for the sport since baseball, since ever. I will stay on that. I will ride on that. I will die on that. As soon as I saw these come out of the Yankee Stadium, I was like, literally thinking the same thing that the Phillies players probably were. Well, I want one of them. You got to think everybody that plays baseball in the MLB was looking at that going, if I had one of them, I'm knocking out 60 home runs this year. You know what I mean? Or something ridiculous. So
okay.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, I really do think that these bats are interesting. They make a really interesting difference. And like I said, put a cylinder on the table. If the bat fits within the cylinder, you're good. If it doesn't fit within, well, then we can talk about that problem later. Just like we'll talk about this problem. But it is later is the problem. He's going to be on the mound tomorrow. The Philadelphia Phillies said, all right, let's put Taijuan Walker on Thursday at 1 o'clock when everybody's going to be at their day jobs and nobody will have to suffer and see this guy play. I'm nervous. I really am. I know that recently, at least from what I've heard, it hasn't been as bad as people said that it would be. But I just know in my heart, the second he makes one mistake in this city, with the way that it's gone with him and trajectory, it's over. It's going to be like a domino effect because Philadelphia fans, we aren't nice. Let's be honest. We're going to just lay it on him. And then I think mentally the guy's going to lose it. So I feel like this is just still bad money that the Phillies are using their ego at. They're throwing money at their ego because they invested in this guy. And honestly, even though they paid for it, I feel like it's almost unfair to the fans that are going out there tomorrow. I mean, Ash, I'll let you take it first, and we'll kick it to Jack and Josh. What do you think?
Yeah, I got stuck at a game that they in Milwaukee when Taijuan Walker had to pitch, and it was awful, completely awful. When the starting lineup came out, it was my family group chat as we were on our way to Milwaukee was just blowing up. Not my favorite guy, I'll be honest. I understand why they put him on a day game to start him off just to see how bad it is. I always want to be that optimistic fan of like he's going to be okay. I would also like to say that I'm a relatively realistic fan, that I have zero expectations going into this. Hopefully he can pull out the W, and that's really what we need to do. At this point, we just need to kind of start building some sort of traction so that by the time we hit midsummer, we're able to kind of realize if he's going to be in that spot, if we have other people who are coming back from injury. We also need him to be ready so that if somebody else, hopefully not, if somebody else goes down, we can confidently slide him in and feel comfortable with the performance that he will give.
Yeah, I mean, hear me out. Everyone's doubting Taijuan Walker, but I think this is going to be the greatest game that we'll see this year with him. I think he's going to come out guns blazing. I don't think, this is a hot take. I know people are like, oh, what the hell are you talking about? I just think that he's going to have a great game, and everyone's going to praise him for how many strikeouts he has and things like that. So, you always got to give those players another chance. I mean, we've seen it with Joel Embiid multiple times. We've seen it with Jalen Hurts. We've seen it with Jason Kelce, things of that nature. Who struggled at first, but then they kind of, once you had the city backing you, you saw a different player. So I think we're going to see, maybe this is the only game this year that we'll see this, but the Taijuan Walker is going to have at least 8 or 9 Ks this game and not let up a run. So, I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm not doubtful. I trust him. I trust the guy. I know Shardy's like, Jack, you're an idiot for saying that, but watch. You'll see what happened tomorrow, and you'll be like, oh, wow, Jack, you were actually right. I'm from the future. So,
I don't think Tijuana Walker is that good. She's just like not good at baseball. I would say the difference between Tijuana and the other guys are like he didn't have like a high draft value. Like I don't.
Do you even know what you're talking about?
No, I don't. But you know what? I don't think the guy can pitch. I don't think he can. If he was a good pitcher, he wouldn't be starting the game at 1:00 on a Thursday. That's empty the bullpen type of game right there.
You're not wrong.
You know what?
You're not wrong.
It makes a good point.
Now, that being said, I'm all about optimism. As you know, I'm an optimist. So maybe we should just be confident and cheer the guy on.
You're not really optimistic.
I'm definitely not. It's probably going to end in disaster. I don't know. But I don't know. He's got a cool name. Tijuana.
Tijuana's
on the mountain tomorrow. You know what?
You think he's going to have 9 Ks?
So Tijuana. No, definitely.
You think he's going to have 8 Ks?
No, he's probably going to get pulled. He's pretty much cheeks. But we will cheer until he gets pulled, and then it's kind of like Bryce Huff this year for the Eagles, right? He sucked, then he got injured, then he came back, and like when he came back, he wasn't good, but like he wasn't as ass. Like he was kind of slightly better. So maybe Tijuana can be slightly better this season. Still a win.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
Pitching's hard.
It's one of the toughest things in baseball.
Yeah. It's probably.
It is tough. I'm glad that your guys admitting that, but I mean, get fucking anybody else out there. It ain't that tough. Jesus, sorry. Anyway, I like how Ash put it. That's the PG answer. Is she had to what was the word? It began with an S. It was like suffer, or it wasn't suffer. Stuck. I was stuck with Taijuan Walker.
Yes.
The direct quote.
Yes, I was stuck with him. And then my mom's screaming at Rob Thompson to pull him in the middle of Milwaukee. I'm like, cheese and crackers. What has happened to my mom?
I mean, you guys took a long ride for that just to see Taijuan Walker. I would probably be screaming too.
And to be surrounded by Brewers fans as the Eagles were also losing to the Falcons. It was a night that, if that vlog ever gets dropped, man, it shows a different side of the Estes household that hopefully no one gets to see.
That was a pretty bad night.
It's ugly. Favorite moment was a little Brewers kid came up to us as we're leaving the stadium because the game was so bad. He came up to us and we couldn't find our car, and my youngest brother was becoming a little flustered and a little frustrated. This little kid comes up to us, who's probably 7 or 8, and he goes, "By the way, the Eagles are losing too."
Damn.
And Sean goes, "Thank you for letting us know. We are very aware." And Sean just like he could not handle himself.
I mean, yeah, that little
Being an
little
Eagles
little asshole. Anyway, let's bounce past into the.
You are now listening to KJ Sports Sixers Talk presented by the Sleeper app.
All right, so KJ's not here, which is fine. All right, Mac, I see you taking off on the nights. We got to talk about the suffering Sixers. No, I'm kidding. He's at the Phillies tonight enjoying himself. Make sure if you guys are at the Phillies game or know anybody at the Phillies game, KJ's there right now. Meet up with him, get a picture. I know that guy loves that. But what he doesn't love is when this team is irrelevant, is despicable, is not even worth our breath, but we still have to talk about them. You know what's funny? We're doing our fundraiser at Klondike Kate's April 16th. As I mentioned, we're filling up a Philly sports basket for each of the 4 teams, right? Everybody's sending in donated items, stuff like that. We made a little Amazon wish list. If you're interested in helping out, let me know. But point being, we have stuff for the Eagles basket. We got stuff for the Phillies basket. We got stuff even for the Flyers basket. We do not have a single thing yet for the Sixers basket. And I'm not even mad about it. I can't even blame the people because this team is not worth giving a penny to. For the first time in the last 7 years, the Philadelphia 76ers will not even be in the playoffs. It's gotten worse every year. It's gotten more and more frustrating. It's gotten more and more like undelivered promises. And I think for Sixers fans, when is enough enough? Guys, I'm proposing as Sixers fans, we go on strike. We go on strike until Josh Harris sells the team. Because what kind of weird freaking love triangle do you have going on between the New Jersey Devils, Philadelphia 76ers, and Washington Commanders? Everyone in the NFC East just shriveled up at what I just said. So I am proposing that Philadelphia 76ers fans, maybe even New Jersey Devil fans, and Washington Commanders fans love the guy. I can't lie. He basically revamped their, and anyone, same thing. Taiwan Walker should flip places with Dan Snyder. That's what ADHD does to you, podcasting. But there you go. You could get somebody else that could be an owner of a team. Anyone else is better than Dan Snyder. And then on the flip side, anyone else is better on the mound than Taiwan Walker. Problem solver. That's what we do. This problem, I couldn't tell you how to solve. You could hand me so much money. You could hand me so many resources. And that is one problem I really don't think I'll ever be able to solve.
This isn't the problem. This isn't the problem. This is good because they suck. And unfortunately, with the whole
they suck?
With the whole play-in tournament, you can still be playing like meaningful games as the 10th seed and like really trying, and your starters get even more hurt. So this is actually for the best. Now, they have to have a good offseason. You got Maxey. You have Embiid will be back. I like Embiid, but that's a split decision. And you're going to have a good draft pick. You might not get Cooper Flag, but you're going to have a good draft pick. So I'd rather be out in April and like have months to figure out what we want to do than playing the playing game. And honestly, like the playing tournament sucks. It's just like a dangling string in front of people, like trying to catch it that they're never going to catch because you're a bad team. So this is great. This is great. We kind of we didn't tank, but we kind of did like a backwards tank. RIP, Sam Hinkie died for our sins. In the lottery era. So I'm happy with it. We need to tank.
I mean, dude, I don't really care about this team. I don't care if they get Cooper Flag. I don't care if they get one of the best prospects in college football.
I'm wearing a Sixers hat, by the way.
Because it's a good hat.
He's wearing a Sixers
hat. Anyway, yeah, I just this team is nothing but a dumpster fire, and they will always be. You can get the best player coming out of this draft, and you'll still somehow fuck it up. If Embiid's still on this team, this is going to be an issue because Embiid hasn't done anything other than win MVP. They've been in the playoffs the majority of his career in Philadelphia, but this dude has not played a full season since he's been in the league. He got surprisingly Rookie of the Year his second year because he sat out his official rookie year.
That's true.
Yes, it's very true. He sat out his rookie year because he was injured.
No, I knew that.
And then he got Rookie of the Year, the following year. So I just think this team is nothing but shit. And there will always be shit. You got to get rid of Daryl Morey. You got to do something in the front office because this team is one of the only teams in Philadelphia franchises that has no, pool, or it always upsets direction. Yeah, has no direction compared to the other teams in Philadelphia. So, whatever.
That was Ben Simmons.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Remember
That was a really I just want to say before that was a really good comparison Jack just made. The Sixers are like a 45-year-old man that still lives in his mother's basement and doesn't have a job and just has like no direction. That is the equivalent. They are not the redheaded stepchild anymore. They are the 45-year-old man that still lives in his mother's basement and his mother still pays his bills. That is who the Sixers are.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a shame. Because Cooper Flag, yeah, he's going to be a generation talent. We thought Joe Embiid was, which he kind of still is, but at the same time, the only thing is Cooper Flag stays healthy.
Cooper Flag's gonna be a bust.
He's not going to be a bust. You're smoking something funny. Josh? You're crazy.
No, name one Duke player who like lived up to play. JJ Redick, last one.
No, Miles, the tall blonde dude that still is playing currently.
Tall blonde dude.
Yeah. He had a brother. Anyway.
About the Plumlees?
Yeah. He won a ring. Yeah, he won a ring. Anyway,
The tall blonde dude. There's a lot of tall blonde dudes that want a ring, dude.
The Plumlees are still kicking it.
That's because Jack is looking for a tall blonde dude to give him a ring. All right.
And yeah, so we'll see something, we'll see what happens. But I just have no faith in this team at all.
I wouldn't. No, they suck. But drafting.
This is like a really depressing show tonight because we also have to talk about. I'm actually really happy that Josh is here because sometimes we have to talk about this segment when Josh isn't here, and I can share it in Facebook groups now to the authentic Flyers fans. See, I just gave my comparison for the Sixers fans. The Flyers fans are like that uncle at Thanksgiving that gets hammered on the couch and has to fill you in on all of his knowledge. That's them. So if I post in a Facebook group, if I even try to say the word Flyers, I'm like, you're saying it wrong because you're a fucking fake fan. Take off the fucking hat. Get out of here. So now since Josh is here, we can take it to Slapshot.
He shoots, he scores! Time for Slapshots with Zep. Flyers talk from 302 Birds.
KJ's voice in that is something. Yeah, this sucks. It needed to happen. This was like the young, scrappy team that almost made the playoffs last year, and unfortunately, they took a step back this year. I mean, it is what it is. And having, in my opinion, the rookie of the year with Mitchkov, I mean, it's unfortunate. Torts is not the guy to lead you to the Stanley Cup. Torts is the coach who takes a team that's not great, gets everything out of them, and they make the playoffs, and then that team the young guys on the team learn how to play in the playoffs, and then eventually you fire them and you get a new coach. The only difference is Torts didn't do that in his Flyers tenure and didn't get the team to the playoffs. So do I think he's a good coach? Sure. Do I think he's the right coach for the situation the Flyers are in right now? No. And apparently things got pretty bad, and it sounds like him and Cam York said some stuff in the locker room that wasn't just like player and coach arguing. Apparently got real personal and basically unfixable. So
can you fill us in? Like, can you take us through that, like, without like solving like amateur Philly fans? Because I actually am interested now.
I mean, it basically Cam York. So this is all hearsay, but apparently Cam York and Torts got in an argument. The next game, Cam York only played 4 minutes, and Cam York is one of like the better veterans on the team. And then after the game, stuff was said, and it wasn't basically the way the article was making it seem is that Cam York only got 4 minutes of playing time, not because like Torts didn't like his play, mostly because Torts was mad at him. And then after the game, they basically got into it. And it was just, and Torts had that comment where he said, like, he's not ready to learn how to coach this team, meaning like he didn't like, basically was implying that like it's a younger team and they're all soft because they're young guys, and he didn't want to learn how to like coach and not hurt their feelings. So
that was an awful quote when he said, like, that's about the dumbest
Yeah,
thing you can say.
I mean,
at your
that's
job,
what
right?
did it. That's what did it. It sucks, but here's the good thing. Again, like I think the Flyers are more optimistic than the Sixers because the Flyers do have a lot of young talent, and the Flyers aren't going to make the playoffs this year, so they have time to find the right coach. I don't know who that'll be, but I think the last 5 years have been the Flyers trying to get young guys who aren't great, trying to play chippy and make the playoffs, and it just hasn't happened. So I think this is a good reset where they still have good young talent on the team. In my opinion, I think they traded away guys they shouldn't have. I think they should have kept Lawton. I think they should have kept Breezer. But is what it is. So we'll see. I trust Danny Briere. We'll see what happens. I don't think there's any ill will towards Torts. I think he was just honest that the team's not great, and he got all he could get out of them, and is what it is.
That's
kind
fair.
of like an asshole. But
It
Yeah.
sucks, man. I'll tell you what. Off the ice, Torts did a lot for the community. That was the one thing that really sucked for me was I think he actually did something with the shelter where I got Roxy from with ACCT Philly. So that was why I was bummed out when he got fired. But
Yeah.
Josh,
I think he
thank you
comes
for that
off.
inside look because
I think a lot of people come off like he's mean. I don't think he's a mean guy. I think he's kind of just like an old school asshole coach who yells at his guys, does that, and then I think he just realized that he's not going to have the talent he wants for another season or two, and just didn't feel like sticking around. I don't blame him. You know, if more stuff comes out, then that's changes the narrative. But I don't blame him for what he's. I think he shouldn't have said that. I don't blame him for thinking that, and I don't blame him for how he acted. It sucks. It sucks. But hopefully we get a new coach. Hopefully we draft well, and I would like to make the playoffs. I would like to make the playoffs in the next 3 years while I'm still kind of young.
Wise.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to see playoff hockey here again? Well said, Zep.
Like, would you rather win a Stanley Cup with your team, like when you're 28 or when you're 50?
50.
Well, no.
We do need some stuff on the back end of our life. I mean, I kind of get Jack's point. We're kind of like,
You hit it middle. You hit it middle.
oh, we're down. No, I'm kidding.
You got
But yeah, I
kids,
get
you
what
got
you're
your
saying.
401k. People.
I just want to
Getting,
make
like,
sure that we don't have
smoking
like a real long dry spout because I'll tell you what, 2008, I guess, to 2017 was the drought that we all experienced throughout our lifetimes. And I just know what that feeling was like when a Philadelphia team was in a championship again for the first time in 2017. It was like, oh, what do we do now? We made it. Like we're here. Like, we got to wait 2 weeks now? Okay. Like that's how it was. And that feeling is not really, I said it to somebody a couple years ago, and it really applied this year. And look, Eagles winning the Super Bowl this year was the best day of my life. But it will never feel like the first time again, if that makes sense. Just because,
I agree with that.
being an Eagles fan,
I agree with that.
being a part of that history, and it's nothing against our grandchildren. It's nothing against our children. It's just being able to experience your NFL franchise or any franchise, I guess, in sports is how I would assume it is. But your NFL franchise, like in a city where your team is the number one team in the city, is the way I'll phrase it, like Philadelphia is a football city, seeing your team win the championship for the first time in that city, you couldn't describe it in words. It's just like a feeling that's immeasurable. And that night of 2017 was crazy for everybody here, I'm sure. I mean, but yeah, I don't even know how we got on that talking about the Flyers. We're getting too positive on the Flyers segment. That's not allowed, okay? Too much of that, they might think we like them or something around here. Easy. But we actually got the Tush Push Banned, and we got a special guest coming back on the show, Joe Donahue from Bird's Nest Media. How you doing tonight, brother?
Dalton, it's great to see you. Josh, Jack, Ash, good to see you all. Thank you guys so much for having me on. We need the NFL we need the NFL right now to come in here. Unfortunately, the league has done a decent enough job of keeping themselves as close to a 365-day-a-year league as they can while keeping an 18-week season. So,
yeah, that's true. How are you feeling about the whole tush push thing? I mean, personally, they're saying it's a rugby play.
Yeah, no, it's not a rugby play. And even if it was a rugby play, the football, to a certain extent, it evolved from rugby. So there's a lot of similarities between the two sports. If it's a rugby play, then it should be in football anyway. And unless there's a real health and safety concern, then yeah, we can make that argument at that point that the brotherly shove, tush push, whatever you want to call it, should not be in the sport. But you can't make that argument. You can't make an argument based off of health and safety data that doesn't exist. And that is something that Jeffrey Lurie pointed out during the annual press conference that he has at the NFL's annual meetings, which just wrapped up today. That's something that Packers president Mark Murphy, who was the person who put this proposal forward this year, acknowledged, is that there is insufficient medical data. As he's been talking to the NFL's chief medical officer, he's been having conversations. The fact that the Packers used this play and then turned around and said, "Oh, it's a health and safety concern," like you can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. If you're really seriously concerned about the what if possibility, you can't turn around and use the same play over the course of the year. That's flatly that's hypocritical. So yeah, there's no bona fide reason, and I have a lot of respect for the Packers franchise. I have a lot of respect for the Packers fans. The reason why I got started in this sports content space was actually by following Tom Grossi, who's a really notable Packers creator. If you don't know who he is, definitely check him out. He's got some good NFL content. But I have a lot of respect for them, but this has the reek of a salty Packers president who's bitter about the fact that the Eagles swept his team twice this season and whose team lost to the Eagles 3 out of their last 4 times in the regular season, and who have lost now to the Eagles in the postseason 3 times in their 4 matchups. This move doesn't make sense outside of that context. So I'm very glad that the discussion was tabled. The brotherly shove, tush push, not out of the woodwork yet. We got to wait and see what happens with the May meeting when it's probably going to get revisited. But this is just a poor form of sportsmanship by the Green Bay Packers, in my opinion.
You nailed it when you said it's got the reek of a salty Packers owner, because it does. It's like it's a QB sneak. I mean, Jack, from your perspective, you played center in high school. Looking at this play, and you played rugby too, really. College rugby player right here. What's your take on it?
I mean, so from when the insurrection of the NFL came around in the 30s, this was in the playbook, and it's been in the playbook since then. And the fact that, I would say this: if there were any team but us that had so much success rate on the tush push, then this wouldn't be an issue. It's just the fact that it's the Eagles that it's an issue. I mean, it's a play, and we just have a great offensive line. We have a quarterback who can squat 600 pounds. We have a running back that can squat 600 pounds, 2 of them now. And it just blows my mind, because it's like, oh, well, you guys are having so much success at what you're doing. We're going to take that away from you. So it's like, okay, well, why don't we take the no-look pass away from Patrick Mahomes? He has so much success with doing that. We're not doing that, but it's just the fact that it's the Eagles. And I mean, with rugby, I mean, it's just a play. It's just a play that has been in the sport since the sport started. So I just think it's crazy that people are getting a little hurt about, oh, wow, we have so much success. It blows my mind that who's the Bills coach? McDermott.
McDermott.
Yeah, McDermott, that he ran it more than us, and he had success doing it. But in the playoffs and in the AFC Championship, I mean, Josh Allen was not having success with it. So it just blows my mind that this is still being talked about, and nothing has been done. So why still bring it up if nothing since 2 years ago has changed. So that's just my opinion.
Here's what I want to ask, Joe. I want your opinion on this. Okay, if they just came out and were like, you know what, nobody can run this play as good as the Eagles. Let's make it illegal. I'd be so down to make it illegal because that's just like a badge of honor. That's just like that's a baller. That's like them banning the alley-oop in the NBA because LeBron does better than anybody else. I would love that. But for them to say this, like you said, if it's a rugby play, like it's called football, and we kick extra points through a field goal. That's a soccer play then. That's not a football play. So that's a horrible excuse. There's no data that says it hurts people. I'm down if everybody's jealous. I love making people jealous. You can ask Jack. It's my favorite thing to do is to put other people down. Fine. Just tell me that you want to make it legal because we're better than you. That would be music to my ears.
Yeah. So
Joe.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, there's that badge of honor, but also, I mean, one of the things that Jeffrey Lurie pointed out in his annual press conference earlier this week was the fact that the Eagles actually believe that this play is safer than the regular quarterback sneak that the NFL wants to substitute in for the brotherly shove. This play is safer because there's less spearing. There's less of a chance for the quarterback himself to get injured in that sense. So there's a lot. There's different dynamics to the brotherly shove, to the tush push that factor into that. I do want to just quickly clarify: the Packers are the only NFL team that don't have a single owner. The Packers are the only publicly owned team in the NFL. So that's why I called Mark Murphy the president, because that's his title until July. But yeah, I would agree with you in that regard with this element to it, and with this idea that, like, yeah, it would be cool to have a play banned because, like, yeah, badge of honor and what have you, but banned for the farcical reason of health and safety, which, again, even like Mark Murphy acknowledged that his conversations with the NFL and their chief medical officer said that it was a really small sample size. Jeffrey Lurie is of the mindset, like, this is going to be a safer play. The fact that Jeffrey Lurie even went out and said, like, if you can give us data that this is a much more dangerous play than the traditional quarterback sneak, then yeah, we'll stop doing it on our own, and we'll stop doing it, and we'll support banning. They voted in favor of the hip drop tackle last year, the hip drop tackle ban. So there is a lot of that at factor. But if we're going to ban a play, we should, then it shouldn't, and it's going to be banned because one team does it well, then yeah, you can have that badge of honor, but don't do it under the farcical reason. And honestly, the better stance, in my opinion, in that regard is, if you don't like the play, find a way to stop it. The NFL is a copycat league. The NFL, if you figure out a way to stop this play, the rest of the league will catch on, and the rest of defenses will be able to say, oh, let me try this, or let me try this wrinkle in it, and does this work? And maybe this works better, and maybe it stops it. We saw how the Eagles were not as successful at running this particular play this season than they were last season, than they were the season before. That's just how the NFL works. The way to get this play out of the game, if the NFL is really serious about it, is for defenses to come and try to come up with a way to stop it. So far, they've been relatively unsuccessful. So for the NFL, and Mark Murphy is saying, like, he was collaborating with the competition committee in this regard, and he said that the competition committee was supporting the proposal, which I don't buy, because if that's the case, why doesn't the competition committee propose it themselves? If that's true, like, the better way to approach that is to encourage defenses to come up with a way to stop the play.
Yeah. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head too. Why wouldn't the committee do it? Like, how many beers was he buying them to say, hey, come, come? You know what I mean? Like, it's not their idea. They don't care. So what, You're right. That's how things are done. And it's not just one. I don't think it's just one organization too. Like, I think it's really interesting that the Bills are supporting it because they're a team that does it well as well. So you're like, wait. Why do you guys want to support it? I think the Bills deep down know if they got matched up in the Super Bowl against the Eagles, and if it came down to a 4th and 1 and the game's tied at 35-35 and it's Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen for one of the most historic Super Bowls ever, and the Eagles get that first down because of the tush push, there's one way that's going. Like Joe said, it is near perfect. It's not perfect, but it's very dang close. So I think if the Eagles, and like Joe said too, figure out how to stop it. It's going to be stopped eventually. But banning it, it's like banning the QB sneak. You can't take this play out of football. That would be dishonorable to the game, I think.
Every legitimate play has a good defensive way to stop it, and it doesn't involve leaping over the line of scrimmage before the ball's snapped.
Yeah. Sorry, my Wi-Fi just popped out. I think we're having a little bit of a storm here. You guys can hear me all good now?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
Cool. Sweet. Well, we're moving on to our next segment. So before we do, Joe, please, as always, thank you for joining us first off. And second off, please let the people know where they can give you a follow if they're not already. And if you aren't already, make sure to.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dalton. Again, so Bird's Nest Media on YouTube. I'll be putting out tonight as soon as I can get this edited. We'll be putting out a whole summary of all of obviously my comments on the tush push that I just shared with you, as well as a summary of the rules changes that the NFL did approve over the course of the annual meeting. So you'll see that come out as soon as I can get that edited and posted tonight. You'll see that up. Bird's Nest Media on YouTube, as well as pretty much any of the social media channels. The one exception, as I always mention, Twitter, X, formerly Twitter. My handle is @BirdsNestFB, FB short for football there. But yeah, thank you so much again, Dalton. Always appreciate you guys giving me the floor here and the opportunity to come on and join you guys.
Hey, appreciate you sharing your knowledge. Have a good night, brother.
You too.
If you guys don't, like I said, you better give Bird's Nest Media a follow. I will be checking. I don't know if I can check, but if I could, I would. Anyway, from the Joe to the Joe, we got the other Joe. Two great Joes, but the 302 Joe, Joey Avens. How you doing, sir?
Doing good on this wonderful Wednesday evening.
Yeah,
Phillies,
so
I didn't check it. Did the Phillies win? I gotta ask.
I haven't checked yet either. It looks
I
like it's
believe
still
they're
the
currently
bottom of the
going.
league.
It's 3-1, bottom of the 8th.
Okay.
Phillies.
But we're about a month
might
out.
just get a little bit better tonight then.
Yeah.
Maybe. But we're about a month out from the NFL draft. Is there anybody that's at the top of your wish list, Joey, or anybody that you really want the Birds to bring in?
So, yeah, honestly, number one, just because the biggest thing, obviously, I think in the offseason we lost was CJGJ. So I'd like to see Malachi Starks out of Georgia. I think he'll be a good fit for the Eagles. I know we've talked about him on here before. I just think that's probably the biggest position of need besides like edge rusher that the Eagles have right now. And I think he's somebody that I've seen like sliding in a lot of mock drafts, and he's kind of sliding back to the Eagles more and more. And that just seems like one of those guys, like obviously another Georgia Bulldog, just one of those guys that like Howie would like, and just another guy that would fit in that Vic Fangio defense and just be a winner, like somebody that knows what it takes to win and is just going to come in and just be a dog on this defense no matter what.
Yeah, I like it. Like a leader. That was something, actually, shout out to John Boy Media. Their CEO had a really good quote where she said, a leader literally means to go first. And that's kind of what I want to see from a safety too, that same mentality where it's like the safety's not afraid to have the pursuit. Like, I've kind of seen that out of safeties in the past, out of the Eagles, and obviously not with CJGJ. That dude was ready to die for this city. But I mean, like, a couple of the safeties we've had in the past kind of lack that hesitation. They don't want to get in there. Reed's great about it too. I got to give credit where it's due. But I think they could use another guy like Reed Blankenship that's just ready to dive in, ready to tackle, is a ball hawk, has really good football IQ. If the Eagles don't go out and get a safety, I really want them to go out and get an edge. I feel that they need help at the edge rusher position. They're very weak now that Brandon Graham's gone. They got the paperweight pass rusher and Bryce Huff. Nobody even knows what the hell that dude's still doing here. So if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles and I want to make a run like I did last year, I don't know about you guys. This might be a hot take, actually, thinking about it. I feel like they got away. They got away with not having as good edge rushers as they needed to win the Super Bowl in the past couple of years. And it's not a slight at the Eagles. It's not a bad thing. It's nothing against Nolan Smith. It's nothing against BG. But if you would have told me that this Eagles team would have lost to the Chiefs and then they would have brought in one more piece like a Myles Garrett or like something else to beat the Chiefs a year ago before all this, I would have not been surprised, is what I'm saying. I would have thought before the Super Bowl, I genuinely was nervous and scared in my heart that it was still going to take one more piece and it was still going to take an edge rusher. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with that, but that's truly how I felt. So I feel like once they add an edge rusher on this team, it's going to be insane. Like, we're going to be unstoppable then. We already beat the Chiefs without the edge rusher. Can you believe how good we're going to be when we get the edge rusher on this team? I'm taking an edge.
I'm going edge and defensive tackle with our first two picks. One of the guys who I'm not even going to try with his last name because it's like 10 letters. Donovan. I'm not even going to try, from Boston College as an edge rusher. He seems he's a little bit more undersized, but I think he has the potential to really fit in well with the current scheme that we have. And then for there was whoever from Oregon from their defensive tackle. His name is escaping me at the moment, but those are two that I really think could fit in well to our current scheme. Yes, they're not Georgia Bulldogs. However, I do believe that non-Georgia Bulldogs can be successful in Philadelphia. I feel like as this Georgia Bulldog, this kind of era of Georgia Bulldogs has now moved on to the NFL, the current Georgia Bulldogs are going to be struggling here in the next couple of years. So I would like to try to find a couple of other college leagues and college teams that we feel like fit our schemes moving forward.
Yeah, I think first round or second round, they got to go some kind of an edge rusher. Jack Sawyer is a name I think you brought up, actually, Joey, in one of your draft analysis.
Oh, yeah.
Say they take Sawyer second round. Would you be happy with that?
Yeah, definitely. I think as far as like edge rusher right now, I would say after last season, I know beginning of the year it was kind of shaky, but I think Nolan Smith has definitely solidified that he can be a starting defensive end for our team. I really think he has. And then obviously Jalen Hunt, he showed up in the Super Bowl, but I'm not gonna lie, we really didn't hear much about him before that. So I think this year could be another a big breakout year for him. But yeah, somebody like Jack Sawyer, you put him on this team, this defensive line is gonna go insane. They're just Jalen Carter already demands so much attention. If they already, it's gonna be crazy. They're how are you gonna be able to block this many these dudes? I could just see it. It's the Eagles, if they get the right guy at edge rusher, they're gonna be unstoppable.
Yeah, they're gonna be insane. I like how excited you got with the Jack Sawyer answer, because I think that's authentic. That's truly how that dude would fit right into this scheme. And as Ashley just said, you don't have to be a Georgia Bulldog in Philadelphia to thrive. It would be nice, but you don't have to be. So I think that was a perfect draft analysis. Joey, please let the people know as well where they can give you a follow, my man.
Yeah, check me out on Instagram at 302BIRDS Joey. Definitely, I know I got the draft analysis of people coming out soon. A couple other things maybe, I'm not sure yet, but
yes. And I just need to give Joey a huge shout out. We have been free agency is always a chaotic time at 302 Birds, and we are ramping right up into the draft. So he has been doing phenomenal. If I needed to step out for even a couple of hours, you can ask Dalton and Joey. Now it is guaranteed that something will happen the moment that I say that.
Definitely.
Howie has a tracker on Ashley's
he definitely
or something, and every time she puts her head down to go to sleep, he's like, okay, what do I want to do today? Like,
yep. I mean, I guaranteed. I was in the middle of a conference and I stepped out, and my phone, Dalton's calling me. He was, what was it at that point? Did we lose? We lost Pickett. We lost somebody else, like all right at the same time. And I'm like, okay, like you guys, I got some of it, and Joey and Dalton handled the rest. So I really appreciate it. And it's a fun team we have over in the graphics department right now.
It is. Shout out to Joey. Definitely. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for real.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you guys give Joey a follow. He said he's got a lot of great draft content coming up, so stay tuned for that.
I've seen some of it. It's great.
Here. Yeah, might even have him swing by here. I was going to say, and do some stuff on the whiteboard. I was thinking about that, so stay tuned. That's been a bunch of fun. But Jackson, go ahead and take us out of here with the trivia.
Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dordan, the mayor of Delaware.
Thank you to TickPick for that sponsorship. If you want a cheap ticket for the Sixers, you sure as hell can buy it through TickPick. If you want a ticket for Philadelphia Phillies, sure as hell can buy it through TickPick with no fees or anything like that. So please make sure you use TickPick when you buy your tickets. So tonight's question, do you have the scoreboard, Dalton?
I do not this week, so we'll fill you guys in. I made it 6 episodes with perfect, so I'll be better next week, guys.
Yeah, Ashley, I'm glad you're actually here because I think you're going to tear down Dalton's reign of his.
I think I have 3, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, you have 3. No, you have 3 or 2. Anyway, so tonight's question we have for you is, here we go. With 440 yards, with 3.3 average per carry, which Eagle led the team in rushing during the 1991 season? Again, with 440 yards, with a 3.3 average per carry, which Eagle led the team in rushing during the 1991 season? A, James Joseph. B, Deuce Staley. C, Randall Cunningham. Or D, Poe James? Again, who had 440 yards, 3.3 average per carry, which in the team who led in rushing during the 1991 season? James Joseph, Deuce Staley, Randall Cunningham, or Poe James? I guess this is the last segment, so we can give it cue Jeopardy music. Dawn, did you text me?
Yeah, I texted you mine.
Okay. All right. So I don't see any answers in the comments. So from here, Josh said, sorry, here's your answer. Let's run it back again. Dawn, run the intro real quick.
Yep, I gotcha.
Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dordan, the mayor of Delaware.
Again, thank you to TickPick for that sponsorship. If you want to buy cheap tickets for the Sixers, buy it through TickPick. Phillies, TickPick. Anyway, so like I said, the question we have for you is, with 440 yards, with 3.3 average per carry, which Eagle led the team in rushing during the 1991 season? A, James Joseph. B, Deuce Staley. C, Randall Cunningham. Or D, Poe James? Going here at my house, we got Josh Zepp with Randall Cunningham. Dalton also said Randall Cunningham. And that is the incorrect answer.
Did I get it? I think I got it.
Yes, Ashley did get it. She said Joseph. Joe Joseph. Is that what you said? Yeah.
Yes.
James Joseph.
James Joseph. I said A. I knew the last name. Sorry, I
say A. Yeah. So Dalton, Ashley's back in the running for winning it for the 3rd season in a row. So thank God Ashley's back, because I was not going to let Dalton get that W. So yes, your answer for tonight's trivia is A, James Joseph.
I can't even. I thought I had that with Randall. I thought I had it. 41 yards, 3.1 yards per carry just sounds like a QB season stats for rushing like Randall. Oh.
Yeah, no, it was, James Joseph led the team in rushing during the 1991 season with 440 yards and 3.3 average per carry, which is crazy.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe you guys. Don't worry. I'm just That's great. I never even knew who that was, so I got to be better about my Eagles knowledge. But you learn something new every day. James Joseph, there you go, 90s Eagles running back.
And I will bring more Phillies trivia.
What the hell? No, that doesn't help me out.
Well, you gotta read some books, Dalt.
All right, well, I'll have to start sharpening up. But the only thing I want to say, and then I'll kick it to you to get us out of here if that works for you, Jack. We'll do a score update next week. That's on me, guys. I didn't have that out. Like I said, I made it 6 episodes, so count your guys' blessings. But we've been pretty busy. We are ramping up for our event here at Klondike on April 16th from 6 to 10 p.m. It's going to be a ton of fun. It was a blast last year. It was a blast 2 years ago. It's our 3rd annual event benefiting the Philadelphia Eagles 2025 Autism Challenge. So if you guys are not doing anything already, Wednesday night, April 16th after work, put on your Eagles green, put on your Phillies jersey, put on your Flyers jersey. Not even going to utter the other team's name because we're on strike, like I said. But come on down to Klondike Kate's and hang out because it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a great night. Philly Sports Guy's going to be there. Club 215 is going to be there. 4th and John's going to be there. Eagle Demon's going to be there. KJ's going to be there. Chris is going to be there. I know that there's a couple I'm leaving off the top of my head, so let me pull up the flyer just so I can make sure. Birdman's going to be there. Nady will be there. That's going to be a ton of fun. Gail's going to be there. And we're trying to get a couple more. So stay tuned. Jack's going to be there. He might break out the security shirt if I can get Big Sean to make the trip. But for real, it's going to be a big family event. If you guys come to our tailgates, if you guys go to 4th and John's tailgates, any of them, and you know what that community's like, it's kind of a nice checkpoint, getting us through the halfway point of the season. We made it to April. Now let's hang out and see each other for a great cause. But April 16th, book it. That's my rant. Jackson, go ahead and take us out of here.
Yeah, like Dalton said, book it. Make it on your calendar right now, April 16th. You will be at the Eagles 302 Birds fundraiser for autism. So without further ado, Phillies, I think, are still winning. They're winning 5-1, bottom 9th. But yeah, without further ado, hey, Josh, it's an outro, not an intro. Hit that motherfucking outro.